In today's video, we are going to talk about our bow hand. And I want to encourage you to keep coming back and reviewing the exercises that we're going to do, because bow technique is imperative for producing good sound. And it's often overlooked and forgotten once we get into playing. So even after you're playing, keep coming back and doing these exercises. Okay, so hold your bow out in front of you and let's start flopping our index finger over and over. You can count to 10, you can count to 5, and now we're going to switch to our pinky. If you need to help yourself, you can put your other fingers in the middle of the bow like this, and you can help yourself. When you get really coordinated and strong, then you can let go. This is the more advanced technique. So we're going to switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to do these a few times. You don't want to overwork your hand. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to slide our hand to the middle of the bow now. Okay, and instead of doing our flops and lifts, we're going to go ahead and do a seesaw. We're going to seesaw the bow like this. So our index finger and our pinky are doing all of the work. These two fingers, they're doing all of the work. It's not in the hand. So we're going to do that 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to slide it out. Okay? And it's going to feel different here. You might not feel as much is happening with these fingers anymore. So the more of the work is being done with our index finger. This is the one that's pushing it, and then we release, push it, and release, push, and release, push, and release. Come on back to the center, feel the difference, and do your seesaw again. Okay, and let's come all the way back to your regular position and feel a little bit slower. Feel the bow coming into your pinky. Push it down. Relax the pinky. Let it fall into the pinky. Push it down. Let it fall. Okay? So let's do our seesaw right here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to do our rocket ship exercises. First, I'm going to demonstrate, and then I'll have a student demonstrate. And we'll also take a look at how this applies to your bow technique on the violin. So we start up and we go down, up and down. So you want to have a good bow hold, and you want to make sure that the tip of your bow is not wildly flailing up at the top. You want to go up and down, nice and smooth. Okay, and then we're going to go back and forth. And again, you don't want it to be wobbling back and forth, and you don't want to lose your bow hand the way it looks. You want to keep that pretty steady. And now we're going to go in a circle. We're going to stir the pot around and around. You can also reverse the circle. All right, and we're going to open the door. We're going to close the door. Open and close. And we're going to go in a circle like this. Like so. Let's do a couple of windshield wipers. Side to side. Okay, again, feeling the pinky and the index finger working. Let's see what it looks like when it's over our shoulder, as if we were holding our violin. So we go up and down, up and down, and we're going to make a few circles, and we're going to circle down like this. And these cradles, the windshield wipers, we're going to cradle from our strings. Notice how my elbow and my hand are in line. You never want your elbow to be higher than your hand, so we don't want to do any lifting here. This is not going to create a good sound, and it's not good for your body. We're going to revisit those seesaw exercises that we did. So just to remind you, that was when we did these exercises. And now we're going to talk about why they're important for your string crossing. So go to play position. And we're going to go to the middle of our bow, right here in the middle. And we're going to seesaw. The point of this is to change your strings to string cross quietly. So you don't want to hear a lot of creaks, and you don't want to hear any bouncing. You want to smoothly string cross at the center of your bow. And now we're going to take it to the tip. And we're going to do the same thing, and it's going to feel different. So you're going to have to string cross at different points in your bow, and you should be comfortable doing that wherever you need to. And now let's take it to the balance point. It's a lot easier to see that I'm not doing this with my bow. Everything is moving up as a unit. When I go up and I string cross over to the G string from the E string, it's my thumb that's going to push the bow over. And then when we come down, it's the top of my hand right here that's going to bring it down. So feel the thumb pushing it up and release. Up and release. We're going to talk about where to put the bow on the string so that we can have the best sound possible as a beginner. You're going to want to find the balance point. That's the point where it balances on your finger like this. That is the part we want to stick on the string because that's little minimal work for you. It's going to balance with your hand on it. So you don't have to do a lot of work. Find your balance point. Try not to place it over the blackboard or too close to the bridge. Find a place in the middle and give yourself enough bow so that you can reach the middle of the bow. And then try it up bow. Back to balance point. So we're going to try this a few times from balance point to the middle. And if you find that you're hearing a crunchy tone, it means that you're putting way too much weight from your hand onto the string. We don't want to lift up from our elbow, but we also don't want to press down. If it starts at the balance point, it doesn't need us to do any work for us. The bow will just play. Try to remember the bow exercises that we did. You want your hand to go down like an elevator and to go up, down and up. If your wrist doesn't move, what's going to happen is the bow will come off of the part where we want it to be. So you must have flexibility in your wrist, your fingers, and your elbow. They all have to work together. So watch what happens if my wrist doesn't move properly. Okay, so if that's what you're experiencing, if your bow's sliding across your strings, you're not moving enough from the wrist. Let's try moving with just our fingers. Just the fingers at the balance point. You're going to, and you're going to scoop them back up. Okay. So your fingers can do quite a bit of movement. If you only do your fingers and nothing else, you're going to get a crunchy tone. But your fingers can move the bow as well. And you want to be able to control your bow with your fingers for more advanced techniques. So this is a bow exercise that you want to work on. Go to the middle of your bow, move it with your fingers, and scoop it back up. Find your bow hold. Down, and scoop it back up, And that pinky is very important for this type of exercise. We're going to start the same exercise down here at the frog and see how much harder that is. So now I want you to place your bow at the frog and do a down bow with a lift, and notice if you can hear a ringing tone coming out of your instrument. So after you lift, you're going to reset and place your bow. Go down, lift, reset, and place your bow. We call this a retake. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to retake it from different parts of your bow. So we'll start at the balance point, and we'll retake to the center, and then we will retake to the top. Let's go to the top. Come back to the center. Come to the frog. The first exercises that we should try are going to be on the balance point to the middle of the bow. We're just going to do some simple down and up bow strokes on the A string and on the D string. The next thing that we're going to practice is long bow strokes, and we're going to count to 6 going down bow and 6 going up. We're going to start at the frog, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. We're going to now divide our bow up into halves. So we're going to do down, down, up, up several times. Let's try it on the D string. Now we're going to divide it into quarters. We're going to divide our bow into quarters. So we'll count and stop. Down, 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 up, 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 up. Let's try it on the A string. Now we're going to practice our string crossing. So we're going to start on the D string and go down bow and up on the A string. We're going to do this several times. It's going to feel very circular. We just want to keep practicing until it's nice and smooth and we have good resounding tone. Let's try going a little faster. Now we're going to go down bow on the A string and up bow on the D string. Very similar exercise, but it's going to feel a little different. Now that we have done extensive exercises, we are ready to start bowing on the open strings. You can open up your book and follow along. You can also open up the software and set it to different tempi. I suggest 65 first, and then slowly increasing your tempo until you are ready.